Oh man, everyone's showing off their cool Pokemon teams and I can't even beat a gym because everyone's so strong now. Well, that changes today because there's a lot of information coming out of the Pokemon Go community. I think this is one of the biggest so far. PSA, Pokemon CP isn't enough. These are the important stats. So a lot of discussion between how Pokemon just interact with each other, what actually makes a very powerful Pokemon, bringing us to this chart right here. Oh my goodness, people have been putting in the work to calculating the strongest Pokemon. So pretty much based off of this list right here, we can see a ranking of all the Pokemon and which ones are the best and which ones are the worst, or at least all the released Pokemon. We don't know anything about Mewtwo or Zapdos or Articuno yet, but overall, it shows that these are the most powerful Pokemon, and surprisingly, Dragonite is number 8. So the way that this works is from all of the stats, that CP is a factor of all kinds of different things going on, that stamina is its own stat, attack, defense, total stats, and it all kind of adds up into one big thing right there. But where it gets surprising are the power of moves, because moves take it to the next level, that depending on which moves that they can learn, they have a different speed and a different power, giving us an average move power, and then that with the offense, the defense, and things like that, we get a total amount of power out of the Pokemon based off their total stats and move stuff, and that's how we end up getting this stat right here. So this list is for you if you want the ultimate Pokemon team in Pokemon Go, or you want to know which Pokemon to train, because if they have one of the lesser moves that they can learn, it might not be worth using all that Stardust and trying to level up and train that one before, because it could be a lot less powerful, such as Snorlax, for example, that its best move is actually Lick, and it becomes the best Pokemon because of that. Vaporeon is a number 2. Actually, so that means Dragonite is 7th because it starts off at number 1. Either way, Vaporeon there's a reason why we see it all over the place. Like, a lot of the gyms seem to be getting held down by Vaporeon, and people are saying that's one of the most powerful Pokemon, and probably the best evolution to get, and that's mostly because of just how many stats it gets. Its raw stats are really good. It gets Water Gun, which adds stab to it, and it kind of snowballs as a very, very powerful Pokemon, and then the rest are down here as well. Slowbro, Lapras, Blastoise, man, Water-type Pokemon are pretty OP. Golduck, Poliwrath, and all kinds of stats like that, and then it starts going down from there. Now I'm wondering if we're actually going to get any balance changes, because Pokemon Go has been confirmed to update every 2 weeks. I wonder if there's going to be like moves and stat balance changes and stuff, because it seems like the top is overwhelmingly water Pokemon, and even then some of it doesn't make sense, like Golem and Muk. These Pokemon don't seem like they should be stronger than Venusaur or Charizard or any kind of Pokemon like that, and even Dragonite being a number 7, for how much work it takes to get a Dragonite doesn't seem fitting, especially when you need to have like the right moves and everything working out for it right there. Now there's also a little bit of explanation on the side that I want to show you guys, so let's add another screen capture because I just realized I should have done this earlier, and we have this right here. So CP is a combination of health and several hidden stats such as attack, defense, and level. So CP isn't all by itself. CP doesn't include moves, and some moves are much better than others, which is surprisingly why Lick is better than Zen Headbutt. Most moves have a hidden speed value, and that's how the power per minute was brought out with all these stats. Shows each Pokemon's real base stats and the strongest attack move. I use those stats to make the offense and defensive values, and then stab is a 25% damage bonus. For those of you guys new to Pokemon or do not know what stab means, it means same type attack bonus. So if a Pokemon is using a move that is the same as its typing, so when you have Vaporeon using Water Gun, it's going to do more damage. Now this is true in the main series games, it's a 50% boost, but in Pokemon Go it's 25%. So see move data tab of this sheet for more about the moves, and then there's all kinds of sorting like that. Actually, I didn't even notice the move data tab. Oh wow, cool, simple sorted list, move data. So we can see that the strongest moves are right here with Psycho Cut, Mud Shot, Lick, Scratch, Water Gun, Blast something, and then Metal Claw, Shadow Claw, and then it kind of goes down from there all the way to Splash, which is pretty much completely useless. So if you also want to know which moves are best and stuff like that, we also have special charge moves. So this also rates the specials. Cross Chop, Body Slam, Dragon Claw, Stone Edge, Brick Break. That way you can also get an understanding of what best secondary move to have to make sure your Pokemon is as OP as possible. And I mean, this is a list for you to investigate for yourself, so this is where you also have to choose what you want to do with your team. Do you want to go to be the very best and use the strongest Pokemon, or do you want to use your favorites, or at least try to figure out which of your favorites are the most useful and get them to their highest point? For example, if your favorite Pokemon is a Kabutops, you want to get Mudshot on it because that's going to give you the highest like speed, damage, value thing, and then Mudshot and all kinds of other optimizations right here. So at least make sure that if your Pokemon isn't the most powerful, you're getting the most out of it. And even then, type matchups make a huge difference in this game. That by having that advantage, it's going to give you a lot of benefit. And a lot of people are saying that it's as important as CP, if not more important. So just like how in the game there's EVs and Natures and IVs and making sure your Pokemon is trained specifically, while EVs don't have really anything to do with Pokemon Go, there is a similarity to IVs in that you need the right move and you need everything to kind of fall into place to make sure your Pokemon is absolutely perfect. Like right here with the stat chart, these Pokemon are really powerful. So it also can kind of show if you want a more defensive Pokemon, that's where we can use this chart right here for, because, you know, there are some different total stat things, and some Pokemon are offset by just having really unlucky, very low power moves and stuff, because, I mean, we don't see Chansey here. For example, Chansey is ranked near the bottom. It's at 103rd. That's mostly because it doesn't have high offense or defense values, even though its base total seems to be the highest out of any nearby Pokemon. That has a 600, so it's kind of up there with Snorlax and the other Pokemon, but the way its moves and other stats break down, it gets a very low total score overall, which is just kind of true in normal Pokemon, but that's why we have, like, this little chart right here, you know, it kind of shows, like, heavyweight hit points, and then also with just damage and numbers like that. And then it gets interesting when you start to see what people have commented with this. You know, water Pokemon in general dominate the game, 4 out of the top 5, 6 out of the top 10, only 2 grass types in the top 25, and then Raichu is all the way down at 60 as the strongest electric type. So I wonder if they'll realize this and balance it out and do balance changes. Which brings an interesting thought, like if this game gets like patches and balance changes, that could really shake up the meta from time to time, or maybe this is intentional. Because if you think about it, with water-type Pokemon being so powerful, it's going to put a lot of stress on grass-type Pokemon, that they're going to be used less frequently because they are less powerful in general, but against the standardized water meta that is developing just off of raw stats, they're going to be more powerful in comparison for taking down gyms or battling other trainers in that way. And then, you know, the biggest thing for me is electric types. You know, all the charts on Silph Road just don't get it. Jolteon is way worse than Flareon, which is way worse than Vaporeon. So maybe I think the best way to do it would be move balance instead of stats. But overall, there's stuff like that. I picked Instinct because Zapdos, Niantic just decide they don't like electric types, throw the rock, paper, scissors out the window. And it kind of seems like that, you know, just rock, paper, scissors, except you remove paper, so that means rock is better than scissors, and now rock is water, and then you win GG. So I think that's kind of it. So if you guys want to go and check out these posts right here, kind of do some research for yourself, it's going to be about the optimization. Like, I don't really think it's going to be an amazing video if I just go back through all this Pokemon and be like, number 38, Victory Bell, has a hit point stat of 160, an offensive stat. No, if you want to find for your Pokemon, it's not too hard, you know. Just hit Control F and then search up, I want Charizard on my team, and now you can go and find out what would be best for the Charizard. Wing attack over Ember. GG. Also, guys, I want to end this video on a PSA, which seems to be like the entirety of the Pokemon Go community right now. Either correcting misinformation, you know, PSA, this was wrong, or PSA, we discovered this, do this now kind of idea. PSAs are kind of the best way of handling all of this chaos right now. But about Pokemon Go issues from a former game developer, and I think this is absolutely needed for everyone, because I'm seeing people complain about the servers so much, like, oh man, these server issues suck, I hate Pokemon Go, man, Niantic needs to get together. You realize that the servers are so overloaded because so many people like you are loving the game, and they just did not expect it. They were not ready, and you can't fault them for that, because if you over-anticipate, then you're dedicating a lot of money and resources and time and to wasted server space, so you'd rather be a little underprepared. And even going off of what they had, they seemed ready for it, but then the game just took off way too much. So if your country is taking a long time to get the game, I know Canada just got it, so the roster's starting to fill up for countries and stuff, you know, just be patient and then the game will be better. So right here, I've been reading all the rage posts today about servers being down because of the Canada release, and believe me, I'm just eager to get back to the game continuing like the rest of you, but I wanted to inject a little perspective to the matter. I recently left a job in game development. Now here's the thing, I actually did game development classes at vocational school. It doesn't mean I was a hard, full-on gamer, but we had to look a lot, like we had to do a lot of research and a lot of like book work on being an actual game developer. And even if you like talk to game developers or you see behind the scenes and stuff, it's not like a fun, hey, we play games all day kind of job. And there is a lot of work, a lot of sleepless hours, and a lot of people getting underpaid until that game is a massive success. And even then, you're still underpaid until even if the game is a massive success in some situations, or you get laid off at any time. They go, oh, yeah, you made this? Alright, that's all we need from you, and you're gone. So it's very freelance in a lot of times, and not a lot of security. So I wouldn't say it's a thankless job, but it's a really hectic job. So I know a bit about what it's like to work on an app like this. Certainly not of this scale, but a game developer culture is very similar no matter where you go. And I promise you right now, the Niantic dev team is on fire. They are on fire, and they've probably been since release. And you think Niantic is sitting back laughing at the server issues while the money rolls in? That could not be further from the truth. And that is the absolute truth. I think a lot of people are taking for granted how hard Niantic is working. If they're saying, we're having server issues and we're trying to fix this, it's not like they have a magic button that's like, let them sweat it out for a bit, you know? When the servers are off for 24 hours, they'll come back in, they'll pay more money so that way they can make up for lost time. It's not like they have this magical fix. No, they are working hard. So I know it's easy to call out Niantic and accuse them of being shitty even though they don't care about their players, but it's too far from the truth. Here's what to consider. Niantic team is definitely working hard and has been for a long time. We don't know how much money they're making or what kind of cut they get with Nintendo, and it's probably a very small cut with Nintendo. And even so, people doing hard work fixing bugs probably not rolling in huge bonuses. That's sadly the truth. They're probably doing well because the game is doing better than they expected, but the people making this game are probably just as hyped as we are about it. It's been their baby through development phase, and they're happy to see their game taking off so well. And also, a lot of the top-level decisions might be out of their hands. Further, I guarantee that someone at a high level of Nintendo is pressing down the knife to get the game to a worldwide release, regardless of the bugs and how much money it's making. That's another thing you hear about like game development or any kind of programming, engineering, that the top tier people, you know, the higher ups that are controlling all the money flow and whatnot, they want the game being out making as much money as possible, so they're putting a lot of extra pressure, and the Niantic team is doing their best to make sure the product doesn't fail, you know? If you throw out a quick server fix and it ends up crashing anyways, you're just going to piss off your bosses and you're pissing off the fans, so they want to do the best. The dev team right now probably hasn't gone home since release, have barely slept, and haven't seen their families, and probably eat when they get 1 minute of breathing room. So I think that that's kind of a good place to end it. I could read this whole post, but it just kind of shows the idea. They're sacrificing a lot of time. They're working really hard to fix the server issues because they want people enjoying their hard work, and they also want corporate off their butts. So I think that's the best way to do it, you know. Have a little more patience. I know it's kind of hard now that I just told you how to optimize your team, and I'm giving all these like trainer tips, and I'm doing all kinds of guides every day and stuff. You know, just kick back, enjoy the game, and imagine it, you know, week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, this will not be an issue because everything will be worked out, and then you'll be enjoying the game like it never happened. So guys, enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Respect the devs, and I hope you all go have fun, stay safe, play Pokemon.
Potion or whatever. No. We have this. We need one more hit. No. Voltorb. Voltorb, buddy. Yo, we just got absolutely wrecked.